So guys, now let's see some math operations in JavaScript. So I'll just create two variable like num1 and num2. So const num1 and assume that will be equals to something like 10, and let's just create one more variable called num2 and that is assume 20. Okay, and now let's just create a variable which which we can change later. Okay, so that means I'll just write let val. Okay, so we can actually change this variable later on because I initialize this one with let, right? So yeah, now let's just do some basic math operations. So I'll just write basic math operations. I know these are kind of boring things, but since this course is like for the beginners, so that's why I'm doing this kind of thing. So yeah, so now let's see some basic math operations. So I'll just write val is equals to num1 plus num2. Okay, and now let's just see the output. So I'll just write output, and that will be like console dot log, and then inside the parentheses we have to pass the val only. Now if I save this JS file, okay, it is saying that the val is already defined. That is because of maybe in the previous tutorial I use this val variable. You can see we use this val variable, that's why we don't need to declare it again. Okay, so I'll just remove that line, and now if I save it, you can see it printed 30. That is because of we are doing addition. Similarly, if I just copy this line and paste it again and change this addition symbol with minus, that means now we are doing subtracting. So now if I save it, you can see it's minus 10. That means that is because of num1 is actually 10 and num2 is 20. That means 10 minus 20, that is minus 10. Okay, and now let's just do copy one more time, and now let's just change it with multiplication. Now if I save it, you can see now it is 220 multiplied with 10 is 200. So now let's just paste one more line and change this symbol with divide, and now if I save it, you can see it's 0.5. 10 divided by 20 is 0.5, and there is one more symbol, that is percentage. That is actually the modulus symbol. So now if I paste that line again and change it with percentage, that means like what will be the remainder if you divide 10 and 20. Okay, now if I save it, you can see the remainder is 10. That means yeah, obviously 10 times 10 is 10 and the remainder is 10. And except this basic math operations, there are some math objects, so let's learn about that. Okay, so I'll just write math object. Okay, and now let's learn some math objects. So first one is pi. Okay, so I'll just write val is equals to math dot pi. Okay, this one, and the pi value is around 3.14. so now if I save it, you can see it printed 3.14159 and so on, right? And now we have math.e, it will print the value of e. So now if I just write val is equals to math.e, and now save it, you can see it printed 2.718, and this is the value of e. And now let's see floor and cell. So val is equals to math.floor, and inside the parenthesis we will pass some decimal value. So I'll just write 2.8. the floor value of 2.8 is actually 2, right? So now if I save it, you can see it printed 2. Similarly, now if I just copy it and paste it again and change this floor with cell, and now if I save it, it should print 3 over here, right? So now if I save it, you can see it printed 3 over here. So now it's working fine. And now there is one more thing, that is round off. So val is equals to math dot round, and here I'll just pass 2.4. okay, now if I save it, you can see it printed 2. That means 2.4 is kind of like nearby of 2, but if you write over here 2.8 or 2.9, something like that, it will print 3. That is because of like it is divided by 0.5. so anything less than 0.5, like anything less than 2.5 will be equals to 2, but if the number is greater than 2.5, then it will be equals to 3. Okay, so this is kind of round of things. And now we have Sqrt. Okay, that means if you want to find the square root of something, you can just use math.sqrt. So I'll just write val is equals to math.sqrt, and I'll just write assume 9. So square root of 9 is 3. So now if I save it, you can see it printed 3 over here. And now if I change it with 16, and if I save it, you can see it printed 4, right? So in this way you can just find out the square root of a number. Then similarly, if you wanna know the power of something like 2 2 to the power 2, 4 to the power 4 or something like that. In that case you can just use math.pow. okay, so val is equals to math, oops, it should be, m should be in capital, so math.pow, and first one is the value and the second one is the like how many power you want. Like in this case it is 8 to the power 2, but if you wanna find out like 2 to the power 4 something like that, then you can also do that thing. So I'll just save this JS file. You can see it printed 64, but if you wanna find something like 2 to the power 8, and now if I save it, you can see it printed 256, right? So in this way you can find out the power of something. And then we have abs, so I'll just write val is equals to math dot abs, and here I'll just pass some negative values. okay, abs means it will always print the positive one. If you pass 4, 5, 6 something like that, it will just print that thing. But if you pass some negative values, it will just change that negative values to the positive one. So now if I save it, you can see, oops, yeah, if I save it, you can see it printed 3. Similarly, if I just write 13 minus 13, now if I save it, you can see it printed only 30. It is not printing the minus symbol, right? And then we have mean and max, obviously. So val is equals to math dot mean. I'll just write some numbers, for example 22, 232, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 34, 56, 1. So the lowest value in this particular list is actually 1, right? So now if I save it, you can see it printed 1. Similarly, if I just copy it again and paste it one more time and change this mean with max, now it will just print the maximum value from this list. So that is actually 456, right? So now if I save it, you can see it printed 456, right? And now we have a random variable, so random method. So val is equals to math dot random, and now if I save it, you can see it printed 0.8542 something random number. Now if I save this JS file again, you can see it, the value is now changing, right? Similarly, if I save it again, you can see the values are actually changing. So that is because of it is actually generating some random values between 0 and 1. But in case if you wanna want to generate some random values between two numbers, for example, now it is generating random values between 0 and 1. You can see it is not exceeding 1 and it is not less than 0, right? But now if you wanna generate some random values between two numbers, for example, I want to generate values between 1 and 20. okay, so for that I'll just need to write val is equals to math dot random, and then multiply with the value, like the maximum value you want. For example, I want 20. So now if I save it, you can see now it is generating 18.37, then again save it, it is 8.98, again 0.69, then again 11.3, but it will not exceed 20. okay, so the maximum value is actually 19. okay, it will not exceed 20. So similarly, if you just want to increase some values, like now I want to, the maximum limit is 21, so I'll just add 1 over here. So now if I save it, you can see it will not exit actually 21 now. okay, and sometimes you don't want these decimal numbers, you just want the initial one, like over here we want actually 16. So now if I save it again, I want 13 only, not 9, 4 and all those kind of things. So for that we already learned about float, sale, round off, something like that. okay, you can just use any of these three. So I'll just use the floor one. So I'll just put it inside a parenthesis, and here I'll just write math dot floor. okay, and now if I save it, you can see now it is printing only 15. Now again I save it, it printed 10, 15, 7, 19 and all those kind of things. okay, so these are like all about these math operations and math objects. okay.